Hi everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we are making this cute little gnome Santa bottle topper with such a cute stocking hat. It is so easy to make. You can add these to Christmas gifts, holiday gifts, to anybody who likes, syrups. I have a syrup bottle here. It's like gingerbread syrup. Starbucks, give it at me. Otherwise, you can add it to, olive oils or beverages, things like that. So there's so many cute bottle ideas to attach this to, and you can make these hats in all different colors and like have a different whole set of them. There's just so many endless possibilities for this cute little project. So I'll get into the supplies and then we'll get into making this cute little guy. So big thank you to Red Heart Yarns for providing the yarn today. I'm using 3 different yarns actually. Our main hat is going to be made in this Amore yarn. This yarn is so incredibly soft and smooth. I'm like, oh my gosh, it is awesome. You could use Chic Sheep yarn. That's a wool brand or wool yarn. That's Red Heart Chic Sheep. But this is, let's see, well, this is the color. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Ruibos? Anyway, this is a size 4 medium yarn, and it is 100% polyester. There it is. But Chic Sheep yarn is wool, and you can use that as well. It's the same. It's basically the same size yarn, so really nice. Also, for the nose, you're just going to need a scrap of this buff yarn or any skin tone colored yarn. I'm just using Super Saver in this, and this is called Buff. So you can use Super Saver, Chic Sheep, or any type of soft yarn that's just the color of a nose. And then for the beard, we're not even using this to crochet, we're just using this for just the strands that we're going to fray out later, and that is Hygge yarn. Hygge yarn is like a super big favorite of mine. It is so soft and so furry and fuzzy. And yeah, my pile of knots back there, but there's this yarn is a bulky type of yarn and it is super hairy. You can use the color Pearl for the beard. So those are all the yarns. We're going to use an F size hook today, which is 3.75 millimeters. You could use a G hook, go up to 4 millimeters, and that's fine. But this hook is from the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy. It is a super fancy crochet hook. It is ergonomic, hand carved, perfect fitting in the palm of the hand, and it works really well with crocheting for long periods of time. Whether you hold your hook like me, like this, or hold your hook like a pen or pencil, this works perfectly. It's so easy to use and I love it so much. So you can get these at the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy. I will link them in the description of this video. Also, you're going to need a scissors and a yarn needle to cut your yarn, sew things together, and sew in your ends. And then you're going to need 1 pipe cleaner. So this is a standard sized pipe cleaner, preferably in the color that you are going to be using for the hat, because believe it or not, there is a pipe cleaner inside of here that makes the twisty look. So those are all the supplies you're going to need for this project. Big thank you to Red Heart Yarns for the supply, or for the yarn for this project. Big thank you to my dad behind me, over my shoulder, filming us and this tutorial and editing it. And big thank you to you for watching. Get all your supplies ready and let's get started and make this cute little Santa gnome bottle topper. Alright, we are going to start off with the Amore yarn, the red colored yarn, and we are going to make the hat first. So starting at the point of the hat, we are going to make a slip knot. So put your short end over your long end, then fold this down and pull your long end through and pull tight. Okay, insert your hook into that loop and we can start. So let's start out by chaining 2, so yarn over and pull through 1 and 2. And in the second chain from the hook, we are going to put 4 single crochets. So go into that second chain right there, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So there's 1, go back in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. There's 2, here's 3, and 4. Now in this project we are going to be working in continuous rounds, and I am going to work in the back loops only. So what I mean by the back loops only is this loop right here that's furthest away from you. That's where we're going to be putting our stitches. Now you can work in both loops and that's totally fine, but leaving this front loop unworked is going to create a nice ribbing. So we're going to work in these back loops only. And if you need to insert a stitch marker, you can insert a different piece of yarn or an actual stitch marker to mark your rounds. So I'm just going to move my stitch marker in there. And for rounds, let's see, for round 2, we are just going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So insert your hook into this first stitch here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, hop to the next, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So this round is going to be the point, the top point of our hat, and it is going to be quite tight to make these first rounds here because the stitches are so close together. But we'll be widening this, will increase soon. Okay, so that was round 2. Okay. Now, going on to round 3, we are going to move our stitch marker up, and working in this first stitch right here, in this back loop right here, I am going to put 2 single crochets in this first stitch. So 1 and 2. And now we're just going to put 1 single crochet in the rest of the stitches around. So there should be 3 stitches left. We're just going to put 1 single crochet in each one of those. And I know it's very difficult to see, but we are going to just go all the way around. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. And now we're back to the beginning stitch. And you can kind of stretch this out to see that it's making some progress. We already have some length going here, and this will be much faster once this gets wider. So that was round 3. Going on to rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So the next 5 rounds, we are going to move our stitch marker up. Whoops, wrong side, sorry. I've got my stragglers, and there we go. Alright, moving the stitch marker up, for the next 5 rounds, we are just going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So nothing, no increasing. Just put 1 stitch in each stitch. So you should have 5 stitches on each of those rounds. So 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Once I finish round 8, I'll come back on screen here and we'll go on to round 9 for another increase. Alright, I just finished rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 here. At this point, I'm going to pull this out real quick and we are going to insert the pipe cleaner at this point because it is going to be quite difficult once this gets longer to be able to insert the pipe cleaner without it poking out the side like that. So make sure to shove the pipe cleaner in once it's all the way to the top comfortably. Okay, and we'll just keep working around the pipe cleaner now. And for this next round, you can move your stitch marker up. Okay, moving it all the way up. And we are going to work in this very first stitch here. I know it's hard to see with the pipe cleaner and everything in there. But this first stitch in the back loop right here, I'm going to put 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. And then 1 single crochet in each of the rest of the stitches around. And at the end of round 9 here, we will have 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. Here's, oops, 4. And 5. And yep, we're back to the beginning here. 6. Awesome. Alright. I promise it's going to get much wider than this. It's just going to take a little while here. Alright, so moving on to the next round. It says for rounds 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, so the next 6 rounds, we are going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch. So that's the next 6 rounds. So just put 1 single crochet in each stitch around for 6 rounds here. Once I finish round 15, so that's rounds 10 through 15, I will come back and we'll go on to round 16 together. Alright, here's rounds 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Moving that stitch marker up, we are going to increase again, same way. Just put 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the rest of the stitches around. So you'll have, for round 16, you'll have 7 stitches around. So 1 and 2 in the first stitch, and then 1 in the next, or in the rest of the stitches here. So you should have 7 stitches. So here's number 4, 5, 6, and 7. Awesome. Once you have all of those done for round 16, move that stitch marker back up. And for rounds 17, 18, 19, and 20, so only the next 4 rounds are we going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch around. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back after round 20 is done. Alright, here's rows 17, 18, 19, and 20. Moving the stitch marker up, we are going on to round 21 and just repeating that increase that we've been doing. So 2 single crochets in the very first stitch, 1 and 2, continuing working in the back loop only, okay, and then 1 single crochet in the rest of the stitches around. Round 21, you will have 8 stitches around on this round, and I'm almost there. You can just continue watching because then we can go on to the repeat portion of the 8 stitches around. Awesome. There it is. Okay, so move that stitch marker up. So you should have 8 stitches around for round 21. Rounds, only 2 rounds, rounds 22 and 23. We're just putting 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So I'll do that, and then that's 8 stitches for rounds 22, yep, and 23. And once I finish round 23, I'll come back, we'll go on to round 24. Alright, so I just finished rounds 22 and 23 right here. So now for the rest of this hat portion, what we're going to do, or not the rest of it, just until row 35 here, we are going to repeat what we did for increasing to 8 stitches, and then the next 2 rounds were 8 stitches. So now this next round here, round 24, I'm going to increase to 9 stitches. And then rounds 25 and 26 are just going to be 9 stitches around, just single crocheting around. So increase on this next row, and then the next 2 rows are non-increase, just 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Then on the row after that, you're going to increase to 10 stitches in the same concept. So row 27 is going to increase to 10 stitches. And then the next 2 rounds after that are just going to be 1 single crochet around. So you'll have 2 rounds of just 10 stitches. So basically just repeat what we did for rounds 21, 22, and 23 until you get 12 stitches. So round 33 is going to be your increase of 12 stitches, but then we want to do 2 rounds of non-increase. So 34 and 30 rounds 34 and 35 are going to be 12 stitches around. I hope that all makes sense. If it does not, you can follow along with the written pattern on YARNutopia.com. It is linked in the description of this video on YouTube, but I'm just going to repeat exactly what I did for rounds 21, 22, and 23 until I have 12 stitches around. Once I have that, it'll get me to round 35, okay? Round 33 will have 12 stitches, but rounds 34 and 35 are going to be a single crochet round. So once I finish round 35, I'm going to come back on screen and we will do the next step. Alright, I just finished round 35 here, so you can see right here is where my increase of 12, this was my 12 stitches increase, so there's 12 here and 12 here then. So your piece should be almost as long as your pipe cleaner already. So you're getting some distance, and more stitches around makes it easier to work around. So going on to round 36 now, our increase is going to be a little bit different. So let's move our stitch marker up. And we are going to increase 6 times during this round here. I'll show you what to do. We're going to put 2 single crochets in this first stitch. 1 and 2, and then we're just going to put 1 single crochet in the next stitch and just repeat that whole sequence all the way around. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch, then 2 single crochets in the next stitch and then 1 single crochet in the next. So we're increasing from 12 stitches to 18 stitches around for round 36 here. And actually I'm almost done. I just have 2 more repeats to do. So you can just continue watching and we can go on to the next round together here. Last repeat, 1 and 2, and then 1. Awesome. Move your stitch marker up and we can go on to round 37. Let's see here. Round 37 is just a single crochet in each stitch around. So very simple. So do that for round 37. Just put 1 single crochet into each stitch around for 18 stitches on this round. And then I'll come back and we'll increase again for round 38. Alright, going on to the next round. Round 38, we're going to increase again. So let's move our stitch marker up. Let's put 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then put 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 and the next one gets 1. Okay, and we're going to repeat that whole sequence all the way around. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Okay, 2 single crochets in the next, 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. At the end of round 38, you will have 24 single crochets. So do that and I'll come back for the next round. Alright, rounds 39 and 40, right? Oh no, the next 3 rounds, sorry. Rounds 39, 40, and 41. 39, 40, 41. Yeah, 3 rounds. We are just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around for 24 stitches. So the next 3 rounds, we're almost done here. 3 rounds of just a single crochet in each stitch around. So I'll do that and then I'll come back and we'll go on to our last round, round 42 next. Alright, just did rounds 39, 40, and 41 here. I'm moving my stitch marker up, and our last round we are actually going to decrease because this is quite wide for a bottle and we want it to kind of hug the bottle top. So what we're going to do is single crochet 2 together. So go into this very first stitch, yarn over, pull through, go into the very next stitch right away, and then yarn over and pull that through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. That's a single crochet 2 together stitch. And then we're just going to put a regular single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, just like that. And we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. So single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So again, a single crochet 2 together goes into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So I'm going to do that real quick here. You can continue watching, and then we'll be able to fasten this off. At the end of round 42, you will have 18 stitches on this round. So if you need to count them, you can. But once you finish round 42, we just simply have to fasten off. So I'm going to remove my whole stitch marker, and we're going to go into the next stitch right here under both loops at this point. Yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. Chain 1, cut your yarn, and then pull that all the way through and pull it tight. Grab your yarn needle, and we're going to sew in this end. And we're just going to sew it in on the inside of this little hat. This is so cute. Okay, now before I curl my hat, I do want to make the nose and the beard. So I'm going to set this aside. Just cut any extra. There we go. Whoops. Awesome. So that should fit around the top of the bottle. So before we curl this, I do want to make the nose and the beard. So what I ended up doing first is attaching the beard and then attaching the nose. So let's cut some strands of yarn and add our beard. So let me grab my Huga yarn here. And I cut strands of yarn that were about, like, you want to bend it in half, and that would be the length basically. So they were about 10 inches long. Okay, and I cut 10 of those. 10 strands. That's all you really need. This hat is so tiny. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. And then we just trim that, and then cut the ends of these. Okay, and then trim the other side. Okay, and then we'll just knot these onto the hat. So you can see on the hat here in the back, that's where we fastened off. So that's the back of the hat. So we're going to attach to these front 5 stitches right here. And what I'm going to do is kind of flip this inside out so you can see the inside stitches right here. And what I did is folded this strand in half. Okay, and you kind of just want to start, you want to work on the inside loop here. So one of these inside loops right here, and we're just going to pull this on our hook, pull it through, okay, and then hook those 2 strands and pull them through that loop, and then pull it all the way through and pull it tight, and that creates a little knot like that. Okay, so we're going to do that on 5 stitches here, and then we're going to work on the inside of the hat, and I'll show you that next. So just attach your yarn to one of the next stitches here, hook that on, pull it through, then hook those 2 strands and then pull them through that loop and pull it all the way and pull tight, just like that. So you have these long strands going. So I'm going to do that for 5 stitches, and then I will come back and show you what to do next. Alright, so here are the 5 strands here. Now what I'm going to do is flip these up to the inside, you can see. Okay, we're going to look at the inside here, and right above our knots, there, well, right below them actually, I'll use my needle so you can see here, there's a line in each stitch that's like horizontal, right here, right here, right here, right here, and right here. Okay, that's where we're going to attach the next 5 strands of yarn. So right in the back here, I'm going to insert my hook into this horizontal line, right, oops, just one of the loops, there we go, right there. Attach this strand Okay, pull it through, and then pull it through that loop. Okay, next one I'll show you. We're going to go into this horizontal line, and if you need to use your yarn needle, you can, to kind of pull at it so you can get your hook in there, and then take your needle out, grab the next strand, hook that on, and then yarn over, pull through both of those loops, just like that. Alright, so I'm just going to attach the rest of these, and then I'll come back and show you how to fray. Alright, so I've started fraying some of these already, but I wanted to show you how I've been doing it. So I attached those strands underneath there, and I'm fraying this out. As you can see right here, it gets really extra curly when you fray it out. So what I do is take the strand of yarn, and you can see that if you untwist it, it comes out in like 4 strands. So that's kind of what we want to do. And I'm using my yarn needle to kind of separate the strands and then be able to pull with my fingers, just like that, and kind of unravel them, just like that. And they come out extra curly. So again, we're just going to separate the strands and just pull, just like that. So we're just doing that with all of the strands, so it is a little time consuming, but it comes out so awesome, like super curly, and that's what we want for Santa's beard. So I'm just going to do the rest of these strands and fray them out, and then we'll be able to make the nose. Alright, so I just frayed out all the hairs, and what I ended up doing is kind of trimming this to be kind of rounder at the bottom, so you can also trim yours to your liking. If you want it like super short or you know, whatever, you can cut the yarn to be to your liking. So that's what it looks like now. So we have to just make a little tiny nose right there, and then we'll be able to twist this curly Q. So let's move this aside, grab some buff yarn, same crochet hook, size F, make a slip knot. We're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we are going to put 6 single crochets in the second chain here. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of like the start of the hat of the little gnome guy here. And 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and we're also going to work in continuous rounds. So let me grab a different colored piece of yarn. And we are going to work in the back loops only, just like the hat part. So let's go into this first stitch here. We're going to put 2 single crochets into each stitch around. So 1 and 2 in that back loop of that stitch. Hop to the next stitch here. 1 and 2. Okay, hop to the next stitch. 1 and 2. You should just put 2 single crochets into each stitch around. At the end of round 2, we will have 12 single crochets all the way around for that increase. And then for round 3, we're going to move our stitch marker up. Let me count my stitches real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Awesome. Move that stitch marker up. Okay, and we are going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch around for round 3. Now let me see here, are we doing any more? Nope, that's the last round. Just 3 rounds on this little nose here. Super simple. So I'm just going to single crochet 1 stitch into each stitch around for 12 stitches on round 3. And as you can see, I'm crocheting fast enough that you could just continue watching here, and we'll fasten this off. 1, 2, 3, here. Just 2 more stitches left. And done. So what we're going to do is slip stitch into this next stitch, go under both loops here, yarn over, pull through and through, chain 1. We're going to cut our yarn long because we're going to use that for sewing, and we're going to pull that through and pull it tight. I'm going to remove the stitch marker, and if you have a little hole at the top here like this, what I'm going to do is flip this inside out, grab my yarn needle, and take our little straggler strand, and I'm going to sew this end in at the base of the stitches of round 1. And that, when I tighten it, when I close it up, it'll close that little hole. Now you could have started this with a magic ring, and that would obviously eliminate that hole right away, but I just started with a chain 2. And we're going to flip this back right side out. I'm going to shove this little straggler into the inside of this nose, and we are going to shape this, round it out. If you need to add a little bit of stuffing, you can. But this is what it should look like, just a little nub. I'm going to yarn my needle with the long strand that we cut for sewing. I'm going to grab the hat, and we're going to sew it right in the center of this beard right here. So what I'm going to do, just like this, I'm going to sew it underneath these stitches and this. Okay, and pull. Awesome. So again, next stitch, pull. I know it's hard to see, but I'm inserting my hook into the hat and then inserting it into the next 2 stitches on this nose, and then I'm pulling. Trying not to get the beard hair all stuck in there. That would hurt. So we want to make sure that the nose is centered and up on this piece perfectly. There we go. Almost done. I just have 2 more stitches to sew on. There we go. And into these 2 stitches. Oops, looks like I got caught up here. There we go. Awesome. So that's what it should look like so far. Now I'm going to fix this a little bit. I'm going to take this side piece and just sew that better so it's more centered. And then we want to end on the inside or underside, whichever. I'm going to end on the underside of the nose, and then we're going to tie this off. So I'm just going to go around a few of the stitches just like this, insert my finger into the loop, come back through the loop, and pull. And that creates a knot. And then you can just hide this on the inside of the nose because nobody's going to see that. Just like that. And then grab your scissors and cut the extra. Don't cut the beard though. Shape it how you need it to look. There we go. This one has like a stuck up nose. There we go. You gotta shape it a little bit. Awesome. So this one is super cute. And now the last thing we want to do is twist this. So what I had is a pen here, and I just wrapped this around the pen. Just like this. You can use your crochet hook too, if you want to. Just wrap it around and keep wrapping it, and then slide this out and then pull on it a little bit and pull it upwards or whatever way, and there it is. Then you gotta grab your little bottle of whatever you have. I have some syrup here. And if you want to also bend this pipe cleaner up so there's nothing poking out. So kind of just bend it out of the way and then put it on the top of your bottle. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Look at that. I love it. And this curliness is so fun. Awesome. That was so simple. Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this little Santa gnome bottle topper. You can add this to olive oils or syrups or beverages. This is such a great little addition to any holiday gift. And yeah, just super cute. I love it. Make as many as you want and in different colored hats. They're so fun. Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this today. Make sure to check out all the links in the description of this video. And please, please, please subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. Until next time, everyone, happy hooking!